Welcome to the Morning Nerdy News. I'm your host, Gray Falcon. I know we're getting started late today, and it's more like the afternoon nerdy news today. But that's what happens when you have to work with your kids to get all their schoolwork done, because they're currently home. So, sorry about the delay, everyone. Hopefully this doesn't last for too long, but we can expect that, at least for the next few days, maybe possibly through next week. We'll see how long the school decides that everyone has to stay home. But until then, these may be a little sporadic on when they get out, depending upon, how things are going with my kids. So for the first thing that we're going to go ahead and cover is a little bit of self-promotion. If you've seen this before, these are Geeky Gifts by Amber. So these are done by my wife, and you can see all the incredible and amazing different things she does. She does awesome hats like the one that I am wearing today, as well as Toothless or Pikachu. These are all her own self-creation. She goes in and creates her own vision of these characters, and then you can have yourself a unique gift. We have people that have come in and purchased custom unique pony hats just so they have their own pony and their own cutie mark for who their character is. So go over there, check that out. Again, that's www.facebook.com/geekygifts by Amber. You can also find a link from there over to the store where she sells things, as well as her Etsy shop where things are available, or you can set it up directly with her through Facebook and make a purchase through Square. We're going to go ahead and move on into the news now, and first up, we have GameStop wants employees to dance for extra work, and I'll tell you what, this is sad. Basically, we have employees who are being submitted into a contest, and the manager has a chance of winning a $100 Visa gift card, an Echo 8, an Echo Auto, and they receive these additional items that, from what the description says, that these items are going to the manager, not the employees. The employees then have to compete on TikTok doing the dance, and that the store winner allows the best dancer to get extra hours. Now, I don't know how this is going to fall in. Now, it doesn't say specifically the manager in this. Now, the article does talk about those items going to the manager. I would hope that he would be spreading these items out amongst his team or to an individual who performed the best dance within that group. But it doesn't say that. So I don't know. That's a little bit of a counter information from Wccftech on where all of this is supposed to be going. But 10 extra hours then that you also have to work through the Black Friday week. Now, depending upon what kind of position you're in, maybe you'd be really excited about getting those extra hours. Or perhaps this is just kind of oh, I won, so now I got to work more during a week that I didn't really want to work to begin with. So let me know if you work at a GameStop. Put a comment down below. Let us know if this is something that you are excited about or something that you are absolutely against and trying to avoid this at all costs. Just curious to see what everyone is thinking out there about this competition that's going out to y'all. And then over on the gaming side, Ben Studios has announced that if you're taking a ride on the Broken Road for the first time or finishing up NG+, here's what you can expect when you boot up Days Gone on the PlayStation 5. Up to 60 frames per second with dynamic 4K and save transfers from PS4 to PS5. So over on their Twitter, they are providing this information. So 60 frames per second with 4K, that's really nice to have that on the system. Now, nothing about ray tracing on this, but as we all know, ray tracing tends to really slow things down. So they're aiming for frames per second in this particular case, rather than aiming for trying to get those extra visual fidelity out of this. Now, if you were hoping for something closer to 120, there's been a lot of debate on that, but no one has truly expected 120 frames at 4K, and we've seen other games even on the Xbox side where it's been very much all about 4K or 120, depending upon where things are going to fall. And then we're going to head over into the hardware news. And the first thing we have is a look at the Gigabyte Eagle. This is the Nvidia 3060 Ti, and this is their first look at that. So you can see the images here. This is a one plug-in card. You can get a look at it's basically a 2-slot card, a pretty standard setup, so no extra space being taken up like we have seen on the 3080 and the 3090. So you won't have to worry about these overly large graphics cards going in there. We have the RTX 3060 Ti features 4,864 CUDA cores, 152 tensor cores, and 38 ray tracing cores. The new mid-range graphics cards from Nvidia will ship with the 8 gigabit of GDDR6, not the 6X, memory clocked at 14 gigabits per second, which is the same configuration as the just announced RTX 3070. However, specs-wise, it is not even half of what the RTX 3090 has to offer. And that's just a little blurb that they have written in here on Videocardz. That's to be expected. We wouldn't expect this to compete with a 3090. The 3090 is a $1,500 card. So why would you think this would even be half of that at what is probably a quarter of the price, possibly? That seems a little optimistic if you ask me for that. But you can come down here, you can see the price comparison, or not price, you can see the spec comparison between all the different models for the Founders Editions. Now, other news from Nvidia RTX 3080 Ti graphics card to feature 10,496 CUDA cores, 20 gigabytes of GDDR6X memory, and a 320 power watt TGP, tackles AMD's RX 6800 XT. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't think this is supposed to be the 6800 XT. I think they have a typo throughout this. I expect that this is really supposed to be the 6900 XT, because as you scroll down in here, we start to see some of the benchmark information. Sorry, that's on the next page. So we get over to the benchmark information, and we can see that the 3090 is sitting at right here on 3D Mark TimeSpy for a score of 10,000. Then we have the 3080 sitting at 8,918, and the 6800 XT sitting at 8,500. So given the TimeSpy positioning here, it's unlikely that we're going to actually see the Ti version intended as a 6800 XT competition, where the 6800 is more geared towards right in between where the 3070 and the 3080 are falling, and that seems like a good position for it given the information that we have so far. Now, we don't have any additional information. I don't have access to these cards, so I don't know how they're going to perform in real life. But based off of the leaks and based off of the information that is given to us from AMD, we're probably looking at the Ti for the 3080 being in direct competition with the 6900 XT. And it looks like it's going to be very close to the 3090. It's just going to be lacking that 4 gigabytes of GDDR6X. So I would keep your eye out on that one. If that one comes out and is sitting in there at about $900 trying to undercut the 6900 XT, we could see a price drop in the 6900 XT depending upon how performance actually comes out on these. Now, if you are interested in more information about this, head over to Wccftech. You can read through both of these articles, but keep in mind the initial article that's listed here is talking about it competing with the 6800 XT, and that doesn't seem to be the proper comparison for where these are competing. And then other AMD news, we have a Cinebench R15 score for the 5600X. But here's the thing, this overclocker, this person who's gotten access to this early, has put out information showing that they are running this all cores at 4.85 gigahertz. So this is the 6-core, 12-thread one, and it is performing about the same as a Ryzen 7 3700X. So we can see the little scores here of 2,112 versus 2118. So that falls kind of within margin of error depending upon silicon and what you're getting. So those are about the same, but more interesting, we come down here and at the different clock speeds, you can see at the 4.2, it significantly underperforms against the 10700K, but quickly as you boost up to about 4.5 gigahertz is just shy of it. And then once you push it to 4.7, it pulls ahead slightly. So from 2005 in multi-threaded performance to a 2033 in multi-threaded performance, and it just keeps going up from there. So this looks like an incredibly well-performing processor that we have that is coming out tomorrow. Now, it's got a $50 premium over the 3600K, or sorry, the 3600X, not K. Nvidia versus AMD there, people. Or even still, Intel versus AMD there, people. Sorry about that. So the 3600X is about $50 cheaper when it came out, but the price to performance looks like it is worth the extra bump and going to this one, especially where we're falling with all this. And we've had other information come out where it looks like this is supposed to be able to compete even against the i9 series, depending upon which one you're looking for the 99 or for the 9000K. And a few people have said that it's going to compete with the 10,000 for the i9, and I don't think it's going to compete with that particular one at this low level. However, we could see, say, the 5700X compete against that, or it may have to bump up to the 5900X in order to compete with the 10 series i9. We'll have to find out once we start getting those benchmarks, but those should be coming out very soon, given that this goes up for sale tomorrow. And we can look through here, we see all the different images of them proving what their settings were, how they were running it. So you can look through, maybe take a peek if you want, and try and disprove this, but as far as I can tell, at least an initial look through, unfortunately I haven't had time for a deep dive, but initial look through, everything on this looks on the up and up to show that this is actually performing at the levels that they say it is. Well, that's going to be it for today. Thanks for being patient with this one coming out today. I know that normally expect this at 9:30 a.m. in Eastern time, and we got this out just, a little before 2 o'clock to start it up. So again, thank you for your patience, and hopefully we'll be a little more consistent through the rest of the week. So remember, if you haven't already, make sure you click the follow button. If you want to check me out over on YouTube, that is Gray Falcon, GRAY_Falcon, and hit the subscribe button while you're over there so you know when these videos pop up live from there. And follow me on Twitter as The Gray Falcon. Until next time, have a good one.